what we're going to have a look at is the difficulty with the obvious trade. What I mean by this is a trade everyone can see, but also how this brings you a different trade. So playing against, we talked the last couple of weeks about people's positioning. So positioning in an overnight session, for example, and how this impacts the next leg of any kind of movement. And what we're going to have a look at here is the obvious trade and the impact of the obvious trade. And then with the obvious trade, how you get the opposite move, but a hurdle then to this actually developing into something more. And we're going to have a look at, I put this together before the bund's done the move. So we can now see, if you're looking at the bund, how the obvious trade has actually now played out. So the obvious trade. An obvious trade is any trade that is really easily identified by everyone. And typically for a trade like this, it's not just going to be about being easily identified, because you can have situations where everyone can see an idea or a directional move. But the bit that you're looking for is that when you have a very clear, obvious entry point. So everyone can see, and this is particularly pertinent with, say, a bad low. Everyone can see that if we've bounced off this same level, there's your entry point for a breakout. Which means now, every move down to here, people will try and sell. They'll try and get short with the expectation that we're going to break, and anyone who's long above there is going to run for the exit. That's an obvious trade. Now, there's nothing wrong with this as a trade, and these trades work. I'm a big fan of them. You know, many of our traders will trade these very frequently, very big size. So the trades work. The difficulty is when it's obvious, what happens is everyone gets in waiting for someone else to make it happen. And so we end up with a situation of people skewing their positions closer and closer to the low. If we start to see a turn, these people then scramble for the exit. Now, what this can create is merely a pullback. And so you get a situation where we come down to the low, everyone gets short at the low, doesn't work, bounce. Now, this isn't necessarily an indication of a turn. This is more an indication of these people playing the obvious trade, have got trapped and rushed out. So they've got trapped, they've got rushed out. Now, for this to turn into a counter-trending move, you need to break a point where you can say, okay, everyone short down here is now going to start doubting the move, and this is going to bring in new buyers. Because up to, say, this point, there's valid reason to say, right, this is a pullback. It's just the same as playing the top of the range. Sell it again and wait for your break. And that's how some people will play this. They'll sell it again and wait for the break rather than play it as a case of selling it as it gets to the low. We had a situation like this yesterday in the bund. There's still a few people talking about it on the members group. And what I'm going to look at is the hurdle to the move up, but also how this then develops into basically a range-bound day. So here's the obvious trade, and we're actually seeing this play out now. The obvious trade was these lows in the bund. This was 174.19. And we traded down there over here, here, onto the low. We traded a couple of times yesterday. This is there to break. Everyone can see it. Everyone's looking for this break. Everyone is also looking for these lows to go. These are 94. We are currently trading double O. We've just touched 96 and bounced just from above these lows. The expectation here is that on the break of these lows, this is now going to pull out all of the longs in here, starting to move down towards 94. Break there, we can now start looking down to these lows at 93 and potentially even 55. So it can set off a larger move. So this is enticing. This is what people want to see. You want to get on this, break 19s, you potentially got 60, 70 tick move. There's the obvious trade. So everyone plays into the lows. And we saw it here, and then a reversal. Yesterday, we saw a trade down, but no reversal. And this is what I mean by the hurdle to the trade. You've got to recognize the point where this trade is now turning into a move up and not just a pullback where people can try and play the move down again. So this is what's happening in the short term. And so this is the liquidation. Here's your 19s area down here. Every time we get down there, we don't get the break, market stalls, and then you get the pickup in volume, liquidation move. Everyone who's played for this to go down, they don't get the move. They'll then start running for the exits and we start running back up. Same again later on. Get down towards lows. People this time, rather than the quick move down and reverse, get the chance to accumulate position and play for the low. Doesn't work. Out of this little range, liquidation up. But at this point, all we've done, if I take you back one, is got back up to 48, which has been a key sort of pivot area in the middle of this range ever since the range is established above this high. So at that point, all you've got is a pullback. People wanting to sell this are going to think, 48, that looks good. We can get in here so that we're now 30 ticks on side by the time it breaks next time. So what you're getting is this. You're getting this still possible chance to sell at 48 up to around about 55. So whilst, yes, you've got a failure to break the lows, what's happening is when you get up into this area, this is not indicating that you've got the move up yet, and instead more that you're just running into where people are going to sell in these single prints. You need the break of that. Once that breaks, that's your hurdle. That's what then will start getting more people out, and that's what can send the market higher. We got this on the Trump comment last night, which gave you the quick spike up to around about the mid-60s, which would take you up here. That was then the break of the hurdle at 48 and the move up. So the point I'm trying to make here is, whilst this was seemingly a fine trade to take of buying 37, once you'd had this first rejection and back up there, your expectation on the trade was quite low. Because by that point, what has happened is we've now got, it's a bit of profile theory for you, initial balance, trade below, trade back above. That's a pretty sure indication of an in-directional day, a balancing type day. And so therefore, this doesn't have a great deal of scope in it. And when you get a situation like this, your thought should be, right, I can play reversal back down. You can even play reversal back up. But because of that wider context of the bad lows, this was then your chance to play more towards the downside. And what you've got to remember is, until that hurdle breaks, there is no move up. And this is the difference between what happened yesterday. This is the difference between what happened yesterday prior to Trump's comment and then what happened a few days previous where you established this hurdle. At this point, similar type of pattern. We bounced back up to previous VPOC. In this case, yesterday, it was bounced back up to previous resistance on single prints. And that establishes your hurdle. So at this point, we've now had initial balance break down, initial balance break up. There's your hurdle. This is looking like a range-bound day until you get above that point. So whilst, yes, you can play for it, just be very aware that when you first get there, unless it starts to show signs of some strength and starts to actually drive through that area, this is more just a move up to give people a chance of selling once again, selling the top of that range with the expectation of completely range bound trade, which is exactly what you get. And the only reason this changed was then a Trump comment, which pinged it straight up here, only to really give this more weight now to drop through the range. So we dropped through the range and we are now on the way down. We've got to 96, as I just said, and we're starting to now stall towards lows. We've got a very different looking profile now. We've got a much more directional type move. If I bring the chart in, the profile in here, this is now what we've got. So we've gone from very balanced to a much more trend looking profile. We've come out of the initial balance up here. No two-way move as in played above the initial balance and below. No holding up in this zone. We then drive through value and we're now putting in single prints and low volume areas. This is an indication of trend potential then for that break of 96 and the continuation. So a very distinctly different looking profile today than what we'd seen previously. And this would suggest that we don't have a great deal of reason to think we're going back up at the moment. And so rather than this be a case of this being a drop and a bounce, is perhaps even if we get a bounce until you're back up above 15 to 19, hard to see this being any kind of larger move back up. That would be your hurdle to, again, say this has changed from a pullback to a break and reversal type situation. So make sure with any trade, it's not just the initial move that you're looking for, but that you're also looking at where that move gets confirmed, where you've got to get over to be able to say there is more to this.